Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's James the Squirrel Theorist here, and it is time for the return of Crusader, and this episode is Crusaders of the Lost Mark. Now, this was written by Amy Keating Rogers, and is probably the best single episode of MLP ever made. Now, I will be going into spoilers heavily in this episode of Crusader, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch it now! Don't spend your time watching my show, my stupid thing. Go watch it because it's far better than anything else you'll do today. Well, let's get straight into the first thing that happened, which was the songs. The songs were really good. At first, the first song that came up, I thought, oh, that's a nice little thing. It doesn't do much for the plot or anything like that. It's just a sweet little number for the Cutie Crusaders to sing. I like it. And then the next one came, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then Diamond Tiara started singing, and then all the little fillies and colts start singing, and then it keeps going on, and like the last almost 1/3 of the episode is a massive long song, and it was beautiful and amazing, and it set everything up for the story so well. And then at the end it comes in with Applejack, Rainbow Dash and Rarity all singing to the Cutie Crusaders because of something that happens in the story, and it all just worked, and I'm giving this a 10, an A+, and this is very rare because the last time don't do this very often. I do give high grades, but not an A+. That's usually either a joke or it's really good, and this is not a joke. This isn't like 100th episode where I went, everything is 100, woo! This is serious. I love this episode. It was so good. This is an episode you cannot miss if you've been watching the show for a long time, and this is an episode you should not start at. So now, let's move on to what's canon. Okay, so this episode made a lot of stuff canon. Well, and this is, the big thing that was made canon was Applejack, the Apple family parents, are dead. They're not around anymore. They've pretty much said, yeah, they're dead. They're outright dead. So that was a big thing, and another big thing that was kind of really canonized and made, like, not even canonized, more went in with continuity. The way Big Mac looked at the end was, he was like, I'm gonna cry, oh god, I shouldn't cry. And I felt that way too when it was going on. I still want to cry because this is only like 6 minutes after the episode's ended. So I'm doing this off the cuff as much as I can. And there was so many things that were confirmed, but I'm going to talk about that in character and story, not talk about it here. So yeah, that was the one big thing that was made canon. The other big thing that was made canon was Diamond Tiara's mum being very, very mean to her and being the source of why she acted the way she was, which we all agreed it had to be her parents, and it was most likely her mother. So now let's move on to characters and stories, where I get to gush about this episode for a good 10 minutes. Or so. I don't know how long I'm going to gush for. This is going to be fun. Well, now we're at the fun part. The story and the characters. Okay, so the story of this episode made me probably the happiest with MLP I've been in a very long time. This is one of the best episodes. We've had two of, in my opinion, the best episodes in a row with Brotherhood Social, where I literally at the end of the episode broke down crying, which I haven't done a grade on because I can't rewatch that episode, not right now. It gets me. Now with this episode, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and I'm going to put massive spoilers here. Run away if you haven't watched it. I've already told you about this. Run as fast as you can. The Cutie Mark Crusaders get their cutie marks, but what they get their cutie marks in is helping people understand their cutie marks, which is a brilliant idea from a writing standpoint. I loved it. It was so amazing. The entire scene, because it was like almost an Alicorn Ascension, how they got their cutie marks. It wasn't just it's appeared. It's big whoosh of magic and all sorts of stuff, and the animation was brilliant in it. And then the song that kicks up with, which is basically a song about the fact that they finally got their cutie marks, and then Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash all comfort them and all start singing to them about saying how proud they are, how they've inspired them, how they're so proud of them. One of the big things is Applejack to Sweetie Belle says, if Mum and Dad were still here, they'd be proud. Canonizing the fact that they're dead, which we shouldn't overlook, because that's a big thing for them to say, for Hasbro to go, yes, you can say that. But the big thing is the entire Apple family. Big Mac is nearly crying. Granny Smith is smiling. She is so happy because Apple Bloom's finally got her cutie mark, and Applejack is proud of her because she's got the cutie mark she's always wanted. It hasn't been in some silly thing, it's been in something she knows she's good at. Rarity has a simple line which speaks a lot for her, that Sweetie Bloom, not Sweetie, God crikey! That Sweetie Bloom, you know! Sweetie Belle has inspired her so very much. And that was a really very small line, but a big line when you think about the long story between those two, where I'm trying not to cry here because it's a big thing. Where Sweetie Belle has inspired her to clearly be a better pony and to help more people out and all those lovely feely things. And Rainbow Dash says something very simple that to Scootaloo means a lot. She says, I'm proud of you, kid. I'm proud of you, which basically for Scootaloo is a big thing, because Scootaloo looks up to Rainbow Dash, like Rainbow Dash looks up to the Wonderbolts. So that's a big thing for her. And what's really cool is, for Scootaloo, her cutie mark has nothing to do with flying. It doesn't matter that she can't fly. That doesn't matter for her cutie mark or her special talent or anything. Her special talent, and this is with all of them, their special talent is helping people understand who they are and what their cutie mark means. Now, there's a few other things with the story. This is also the redemption of both Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara. In one episode, we got all that. And Silver Spoon goes, no, I am not taking this anymore. You cannot keep saying this to me. I'm your friend, and I don't want to be your friend anymore because you keep treating me this way. I've tried to help you, and you ignored me. And that made me go, thank you. Amy Keating Rogers should be praised for this. To the high heavens, she should be raised above all else and go, she is the queen. And now we get, I have a feeling, and I'm not the only one who has this feeling. The British Ninja, he also said this. The CMC could get their own mini-series helping, their own spin-off series, helping little ponies understand their cutie mark and such. And I'd watch that, and I think it'd be really good for more younger audiences and such. And that's where you could put that moral in and help little kids learn lessons, and have MLP more for the slightly older kids who don't really have to learn a lesson, but if they do, great. And, like, yeah, this episode, man, it's the best. It's the best episode, bar none. And that's coming from someone who loved episode 100, who loved Cheese Sandwich, who, there is, like, I've been wondering what could top, like, Pinkie Pie and Cheese Sandwich. I was wondering what could top Weird Al Yankovic in an MLP episode. I've been wondering what could top episode 100 of all the pandering to the fans and to the bronies like us. And then this happens, and it is the best episode if you're a long-time fan of the series. I will point out that if you're not a long-term fan of the series and you've just come on, you will not think this episode is the best. You'll go, oh, that was really nice. But for someone who's been here since season 1, since 2010, or 2011, I'm not exactly sure, because I joined at a very odd time. I think I was either partway through season 1, partway through, or right before season 2. Anyway, I've been here for a very long time. I've only been doing videos for over a year now. But I still, to this, I will testify to this. This episode is the best CMC episode and the best episode for a moral and the end of a storyline, bar none, because that is how you conclude it. Not only do you have the quote-unquote heroes hit what they need, achieve their goal, you also redeem 2 characters and give us canonizing fandom queries for a very lot that we've had since the beginning of the show, and also give you beautiful songs and beautiful animation. This is my favorite episode of MLP now. It is that good. And it takes a lot for me to change my favorites. If you go back and watch every single CMC-centric episode, you will see the evolution of a group of characters, not only the CMC, but Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon and the rest of the Phillies and Colts at that school. And what's amazing is, for them, they're happier than they've ever been right now. Right at the end of that episode, they were the happiest they've ever been. And it didn't stay its welcome. It gave us a great series of stories, and for that last story, for a minute or two, not even a minute I think, it gave us flashbacks of big moments for the CMC. This, I may be repeating myself, but I don't care. I love this episode. It's an A+, 10 out of 10. This is the best episode I've ever watched of MLP. If I made a top 10 at the end of this season, this would be number 1. And that is saying a lot, because there's a lot of good episodes in MLP. I have been I've been James the Squirrel Theorist, and class dismissed.